So this is going to be a rant about baseball fields for kids in the suburbs. Now, I understand some kids play baseball and there should be baseball fields for them, but why do there have to be so many? And why do they occupy so much of the available public green space, which in many places I've lived is fairly limited, including now. I live within a mile of where I live. There are exactly two public parks. Both of them, a majority of the space is devoted to these baseball fields. Now look at this big open field. This is all for this baseball field. Maybe 3 days a week during the baseball times of year, spring and early summer, maybe 3 times a week I see kids out here playing baseball for an hour or two. Rarely more than that. And like I said, within a mile of where I live, there are 2 of these baseball fields, and the same thing with both. It's the same thing with both of them. Imagine how much better this would be if this space had like trees and a little walking trail. Now, near here, in this little space, in the corner over here, there's a playground for kids to be able to play on the swings and stuff. But it's a tiny little, it's like the playground ghetto. Now, the thing is, all day, every day, all throughout the year, if it's a fairly nice weather, I see kids playing on these slides and jungle gyms and swings and all that. And there's exactly one picnic table in this big open space. And it's just over here by the playground. And I personally feel like this is just wasted space. Like, it's like this baseball field that only gets used a few times a week at most for a specific time of year. How much better would it be if they would have just kind of years ago planted more trees through here, got rid of the baseball field, and had like a walking trail around this place, or a few little trails, maybe like a gazebo in the middle, and then picnic benches all around the trail. There's nothing like that in my town, at least within walking distance of me. There's one walking trail that's kind of like on the perimeter of town. There's a couple other parks that are further from me. There's one little park that's nice that has a lake, but compared to the amount of money they spend upkeeping this, they don't do much with that lake. There are no benches that haven't fallen into disrepair. And I live in a rich area, by the way, like a very rich area. I'm not rich personally. I just have an apartment here. But this is a rich area, and yet for some reason there's a lack of just parks for people to come and chill out. They're all devoted to like kids' sports, baseball especially. And the other baseball field, not this one, but the other baseball field, instead of having a little ghetto for a playground, it has basketball courts also, which nobody really, I rarely ever see kids out there playing basketball. Once in a while, I'll see like one grown dude shooting hoops or something, and every so often maybe I'll see a group of kids playing a game of basketball. But really, it's like there's so much space. There's another park, in my town, there are only a handful of parks. And now that I think of it, another park that's within somewhat walking distance of me, but more than a mile, also much of the space is devoted to baseball field. And actually, now that I think of it, there's a 4th one. And then there's one little tiny park. Hardly you could call a park. It's more just like a patch of land in between houses that they call a veterans memorial park. And it has a few benches. It has a playground. And maybe it has 1 or 2 picnic tables. It's just weird to me how much space they devote to these damn baseball fields. Like, I understand some kids play baseball. Like, what is the percentage of kids that play baseball? Like, maybe 10% of kids actually are on these baseball teams that come here. And yet, for the whole year, this space is a baseball field that doesn't really get used. When it does get used, as I said, it's like during baseball season, it's like 3 days a week at most. And really, that's at most. I don't even think it's 3 days a week most weeks. All I'm saying, look, I'm not shitting on baseball or kids who play baseball. I'm just saying, like, so much space is devoted in these suburbs to, like, kids baseball. I think it's almost like training their egos to justify all the space that they're going to commandeer later in life with these giant golf courses that would be much better as nature preserves that everyone could enjoy and show up and walk around. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm sure some people are going to see my rant and hate that I'm ranting about this and disagree with me. And feel free to let me know if you disagree. But all I'm saying is, like, maybe a little less in the way of baseball fields for kids and more in the way of multi-use parks that people of all ages and all interests can come and enjoy.